See, George Bush, and by the way, believe it or not, you can't donate to presidential election campaigns. We have public financing, you check that little box. But somehow, $400 million was spent electing this guy, nearly $500 million. I'm saying, who is so generous? So what struck me immediately was Barrick Goldmine in Canada. I'm saying, well, that's kind of patriotic for a Canadian company. And then I found out that Poppy Bush, Daddy Bush, called himself Poppy, that after he left the White House, he went to work for this Canadian gold mine company. Now, they got this gold mine, has $10 billion worth of gold ore in it, in Nevada. Well, Barrick rushed to the office and filed its claims stake. Just before George Bush left office, there was a special expedited procedure set up for them, and they paid the United States Treasury a little less than $10,000. Now, there's no connection between getting $10 billion worth of ore for $10,000 and George Bush being appointed to the board and then the donations coming. I don't want to. Do not connect those, please. Barrick Goldmine, where the heck did these guys come from? They were created by, they were first established and funded by a guy named Adnan Khashoggi. Unreal. You may remember him as the conduit in the Iran-Contra arms for hostage deal. He was the arms dealer who provided the arms in the deal, and as one of Bush's last acts of office, he pardoned Khashoggi. But what was he doing in 1996 at that time? Well, my information is that there was a meeting at a place called the Hotel Monceau in Paris. There were Saudi princes there, Saudi royals there, and a representative of an organization called Al-Qaeda. And they were discussing how much money the Saudi princes and billionaires would give to Al-Qaeda and other athletic organizations, actually. On September 11th, my office was on the 52nd floor of the World Trade Center Tower 1. And I wanted to know what's happening to my friends. I was lucky I was in Long Island at the time in the summer. I was in London. How could this have happened? The FBI was telling me that it was not just, yeah, there's this black sheep, but maybe there's some gray sheep that they wanted to look at. But the problem with the gray sheep is that the rest of the bin Laden family, the non-black sheep, were co-investors with Bush in the Carlyle Corporation. They all had these personal and financial connections together, buddies, and it just didn't seem right to investigate your friends. So Bush, according to our sources, said, while Clinton had always said, go slow, don't upset the Saudis, under Bush it was dead, stop the investigations, you cannot follow the money. He didn't say don't investigate Al-Qaeda, but he said don't follow the money, don't look at the Saudis. Well, how do you do an investigation unless you follow the money? But I don't know. In other words, they didn't see what was coming because they were told not to look.